I'm making one of my top 3 Italian favorites, chicken marsala. So stay tuned, I'm going to show you how. So do you see these? Mushrooms. I've got some baby bellows. I got some cremini. I saw these in the store a couple of days ago. They look so good, and right then and there, I knew what I was going to be making for this episode. It's one of my top 3 Italian dishes that I just love, and that's chicken marsala. Got some nice chicken breast here. I've already pounded down a couple. I'm going to show you how I pound mine down. What I'm going to do is basically flour up some chicken cutlets here. Going to cut up some mushrooms, some onion. Going to chop up some parsley. Going to bread up our cutlets. Get them frying. Saute some mushrooms. Add a little bit of Marsala wine. Some chicken stock. And in the end, it's going to be luscious. I can guarantee it's going to be luscious. Again, this is one of my top 3 dishes that I love to make. I'm not going to tell you what the other 2 are. You'll just have to wait and find out. Those are coming down the road a bit. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I pound out my chicken here. Then we'll get into some chops, and then we'll get over to the stove. Okay, so much like my pork cutlet that I did a few weeks ago, I put my chicken in the bag, just give it a little pound so it's nice and thin, and then I move on. So for my mushrooms, it's very important when you're dealing with mushrooms. I don't wash these underwater. I just take a damp towel, I wipe them off. These are like little sponges. You get water in this, it's going to soak up all that water. I'm using about 3/4 to a pound of mushrooms. The biggest thing with marsala, it's all about the mushrooms, it's all about the chicken, and it's all about the marsala. So you're going to want to put plenty of mushrooms in there. On my onions, a lot of people use shallots. I'm going to just go with a nice thin slice of onion on mine. That's what I like. So. Alright, so before we head over to the stove, what I'm going to do is I have my flour here, all-purpose flour. I've got about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and about 1/3 teaspoon of pepper. Just going to throw it in here, mix it in. That's that. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit my chicken with a little bit of salt and pepper. Both sides. Alright, so we're just going to flour these up and try not to make a mess like I just did. The flour is going to do 2 things. It's going to help crisp up this chicken, and it's also going to help thicken up the sauce later on, because we're going to saute the chicken, pull it out, then saute our veggies, make our sauce, and then add our chicken back into our sauce. And the flour that's on the chicken is actually going to help thicken. Okay, so I'm going to put about 1/4 cup of olive oil in my pan. We'll heat this up. I'm also going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. We'll get this melted down, and once this is melted down, we will begin to saute our chicken. Okay, our butter is melted. I have this on medium to high heat. We're just going to go ahead and get our chicken cutlets in here and get them cooking. And we'll cook these for about 3 about 3 minutes on each side. All right, so this has been about 3 minutes. Gonna turn these over. This pan is super slick. It's looking good so far. And we've got looks like about 2 minutes on this side. All right, so I'm going to take a look at this, and they're looking really good. We don't have to cook these all the way through because we're going to finish them off in the sauce. So right about now, I'm going to go ahead and take them off and set these to the side. If I can get a hold of this. They're looking really, really good. All right. Now, straight into our pan, I'm going to throw my onions. And just let these caramelize a little bit, get translucent, and we'll add our mushrooms. Onions are looking good. Go in with all of our mushrooms. Looks like a lot, but these are going to cook down. These will turn. And we will begin cooking down our mushrooms. So we'll be right back in about, I don't know, about 3 minutes or so. Let's see how things are going. All right, so we're about a minute in. I'm going to add a couple more tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to also add a little garlic paste. Now I could have minced up some garlic, but I got a little garlic paste that I've had, and I wanted to use it up. Do this little turn. I keep losing mushrooms. Alrighty, we'll let those mushrooms cook down some more. Give this a little bit of a turn. Oh yeah, we're looking good, baby. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. Another quick turn here. Let these cook for about another 30 to 45 seconds, and then we'll go in with our marsala. Okay, as you can see, our mushrooms have cooked down really nicely, and it's about time to go in our marsala. I'm going to go in with about 1/3 of a cup of marsala. Deglaze the pan, let that cook down a little bit, and then we'll be adding our stock. So I have about 2 cups of chicken stock here. I'm only going to use about 1.5 cups. I'll use the other half just as reserve in case it's too thick, or I need to thicken this up and I want to add some a slurry to it. So right about now, our marsala is cooked down almost in half. So I'm going to go ahead and add about 1.5 cups to the stock. Alright, so I'm just moving this around a little bit, incorporate the stock into the marsala and the mushrooms. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken back into the pan, and we're going to cook this for about another 10 minutes. And you will see that this is going to thicken up nicely. I can already see that I'm going to need to add the rest of that stock. But we'll see. A little flame going there. If I can get a hold of this. I want to add our juices in there. Okay, so we got about another 2 minutes to go, and I'm going to add about another 1/3 of a cup of stock to this because it's looking like it's a little bit on the, a little shy. So we'll let that simmer for about another 2 minutes. And the thickening, it looks almost perfect. With the added stock, I may need to thicken up just a little bit. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So with about a minute to go here, I'm looking a little bit thin. for my liking. So what I'm going to do is thicken it up. I'm going to do like a cold roux method. I'm going to take some butter. I'm going to toss it in a little bit of flour here and just drop that in. I'm only going to do 2 tablespoons. This should be enough to really make this nice, thick, and creamy. Oh yeah, look at that, thicken right up. At this point as well, I'm going to go in with my chopped parsley. Oh, mia Dio. This is looking good. Nice and creamy. Sauce is looking good. It's smelling good. We're just about there. About another 15 seconds or so. So we are there. Look at that. This is chicken marsala. And it is smelling so darn good. Nice and creamy. Lots of mushrooms. I can almost guarantee that this chicken is going to be fork tender. So let me see if I can grab one out of here. There we go. Get some of this nice mushroom sauce on there. Oh yeah, it's all about the mushrooms. More sauce. One of the things that really disappoint me when I go to Italian restaurants or so-called Italian restaurants and they throw this fake sauce out there, really angers me. This is marsala. Give a little more green. There you go. We're downtown right there. So hey, before I taste this, let me do my shout out. And this episode shout out is to all the sailors that were ever stationed or still stationed at NSA Gaeta, Italy. And yeah, you've probably had your share of chicken marsala and a lot of other great Italian dishes while you've been stationed there. So this episode is dedicated to you. Now, let's go in and try this. It's gonna be fork tender, I can guarantee it. Oh, baby. Got the mushroom here, piece of the chicken. This is fantastic. The marsala, the chicken is fork tender, the mushrooms are cooked perfectly, and I love the taste of parsley, you all know that. It all came together, and you saw really how easy this really is to make. Don't be intimidated. When I first started making marsala, I was a little bit intimidated. I make a mess. But watch the video a few times. Watch how I do things. You can make world-class chicken marsala at home. And so hey, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, share. So until next time, thanks, and we'll see you.